Hey there, this is Lady Jamers and Oliver. This month's Did You Know is about Philadelphia's favorite son, Ben Franklin. And did you know, as you know, Ben Franklin is one of America's founding fathers and called Philadelphia his home. Philadelphia has embraced Ben Franklin. In fact, we even have our own Ben Franklin for special events. In fact, over the years, we've had a couple. Here's a picture of one of my favorite Ben Franklins that we've had help celebrate Philadelphia's special events. I'll show you right here. Did you know that Ben Franklin is not originally from Philadelphia? He was born in Boston on January 17, 1706, to Josiah and Abiah Franklin. And he was 15th of 17 children and the youngest son. He only had 2 years of formal schooling, and at the age of 12, he was sent to be an indentured apprentice to his big brother James at his brother James' printing shop. By indentured apprentice, this meant that he signed a contract to do whatever his brother wanted. And when you're a indentured servant, you don't get paid. So it makes me wonder, was he paid? Probably not. But he learned a trade that would be invaluable in his life. He worked at the printing house for a couple of years, and then he ran away from his apprenticeship and his brother and family to Philadelphia, where he made a name for himself. It was 1723, and he was only 17, but he had his life ahead of him. And let me tell you, what a life he had. In 1730, he bought the Pennsylvania Gazette newspaper and entered into a common law marriage with Deborah Reed, which lasted for 44 years. Together, they had 2 children, Frances, born 1732, and Sarah, known as Sally, in 1743. Benjamin Franklin did have another son, William, who he had before he got involved with Deborah. And I'll tell you a little bit of that in a bit. Sadly, Francis, the beloved son of Deborah and Ben, died of smallpox when he was 4. Sally lived a long life, and she got married and had 8 children. I have their pictures at the end of this video. So, Ben's son William grew up to be a staunch loyalist, in contrast to Ben being a staunch patriot. William Franklin was New Jersey's last royal governor and moved to England in 1782 after the war. when Ben Franklin was doing his kite experiment, William is by his side, and you'll see a picture of that too. Because of the politics between William and Ben, Ben disowned his son William, and if you do a little bit of research, I've read some of the letters and others, and it is rather interesting. But I thought we won't add that on here. Ben Franklin was also an inventor, as well as being a politician and a printer and a father. Amongst many of his achievements, Ben Franklin published Poor Richard's Almanac that started in 1732. In 1736, he helped found the first volunteer firefighting company in America, not just Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, in America. In 1737, he became the postmaster in Philadelphia. Around 1740, he helped found what was to be known as the University of Pennsylvania. And he also organized a militia for Pennsylvania and helped find the Pennsylvania Hospital. In some sense, he also created one of the first viral political cartoons. The Join or Die cartoon was originally made for the French and Indian Wars and was a bomb per se. But when the Revolutionary War came around, it became a battle cry of sorts. If you look closely, you'll see 8 pieces of the snake. Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire were all together on the piece that says NE for New England. Georgia, which was one of the 13 colonies, is missing from that flag. Why, you say? Not to insult Georgia, but at the time, they were thought that since it was mostly a vast frontier, they couldn't help them in the cause of freedom. I'm sure that after the Revolution, things were thought a little bit differently. And believe it or not, we haven't even gotten to his work as a founding father, or some of his inventions that he did. Here's a few of his inventions: the lightning rod, bifocals, the Franklin stove, which was intended to produce more heat and less smoke to keep your house warm. He also invented the glass harmonica, known as the harmonica, and it's a musical instrument that uses a series of glass bowls that are graduated to produce music by means of friction. In fact, composers Mozart and Beethoven did compose some music for the glass harmonica. Believe it or not, isn't that cool? Franklin was the only founding father to sign all 4 key documents establishing the United States of America. In 1776, he signed the Declaration of Independence. In 1778, he signed the Treaty of Alliance with France. In 1783, he signed the Treaty of Paris, which established peace with Great Britain. And in 1787, he was involved with the U.S. Constitution. This only scratches the surface of this illustrious man. Ben Franklin passed away on April 17th, 1790, of complications with pleurisy, which is a lung ailment. It does make you wonder how the world would be if Ben Franklin never ran away from his brother's work in Boston. The world is much wiser because of Ben Franklin, and to quote one of his many sayings, an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. I hope you enjoyed this version of Did You Know? And stay tuned. Next month in August, I have decided that I am going to do The Little Mermaid. So I'm going to do a little bit of the movie and Hans Christian Andersen's version of it. I hope you look forward to seeing it, and enjoy the little montage of Ben, his children, a few of his inventions, and one of my favorite sayings of him. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Oh, and remember, like, subscribe, and tell your friends about Ladies Dreamers channel, and hit those notification bells. See you later. Is one of our founding fathers of the... I thought you were going to come. There's no stream without Oliver now. Just saying.